to continue in this conversation on what it means to be loved. I am so excited to welcome into conversation the one, the only Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills is a legendary singer and songwriter, 7-time Tony Award winner for her role in the Broadway run of the musical The Wiz. She is a sister beloved, and we are so grateful to have you join us in conversation today. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you. I am so delighted. I was watching you guys talk about love and how powerful love is, and my whole being is love. I mean, I love my people. I love human people. I want us to be okay. That's really important to me.
Absolutely. And you live that daily, even
Yes.
through your social media presence.
Yes,
Right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because I want us to be proud to be Black Americans. We have been through, I think that the last years that we've been terrorized, and I feel like we know how people feel about us. But if we could come together and just love us, then we can love other people. But we really do have to learn how to love our own.
And you said in a recent tweet how important it is to love each other in our community.
Yes.
Let's talk some more about that. To love ourselves. What does that mean when you say that?
To love our hair, to love our natural colors, to love our beautiful big lips, whatever, to love our body, to love us, not be ashamed to be Black. I think a lot of us are ashamed to be Black, and that's not okay. So I really stress loving us, coming together, stop killing us. You know, there's a lot of things that we have to do. And I don't want us to no longer look for other people to help us, because we have such a rich culture and community that we could help ourselves.
I mean, and I, not to always take you back to The Wiz, because I know almost in all your interviews, somebody's going to talk about when I think of home, when I know what you think, right?
Absolutely.
But really, The Wiz was that rewriting of a narrative to love ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Wiz was about a young Black girl going through the Oz, meeting the Scarecrow who needed brains, meeting the lion who needed courage, meeting the Tin Man who wanted a heart. But in the end, she realized she had all of that inside of her, and they were her friends who helped her believe that. So I think that as people, and Pastor Bernice is doing such a wonderful job, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to meet her grandfather and her grandmother, and know her mother, Coretta Scott, and know Yoki as my friend. And Reverend Martin Luther King, all he talked about was love, loving us, loving each other, showing we don't have to prove that we're human. To me, sometimes I feel like in this world that we're living, we have to prove that we're human with all the craziness that's going on. And I feel if we could just love each other, love conquers all to me.
Wow, that's right.
It conquers all. It really does.
And in that love, we're loving ourselves into humanity. In that love, we're loving ourselves into visibility.
Yes.
We're loving ourselves into sound. We're hearing our music. We're dancing to our tunes. That in many ways is our act of resistance.
Yes. Yes. I think that love, like, that's why when people say, oh, well, you're singing R&B and you don't hear a lot of the new R&B songs on the stations. And I love R&B. I never wanted to be a pop star. I love singing what I sing. And so many times people were like, oh, well, we got to take a little bit of the R&B out of your voice. No, that's who I am. That's where I come from. I come from the church. I was baptized at 7 years old. That's all I know is the soul and the religion and what we sing. So I think that a lot of us should not sell ourselves out to be what the society think we should be. We should be what God made us to be.
Absolutely. And so how do we, because when you said the R&B, I think about the conversations we have in my house. So when we're like, Where are the love songs? You know, R&B was a wonderful genre for the love songs. And so when we have this back and forth with our children, who are what I guess you'd consider Gen Z, right? This up and coming generation, they see love in their songs. And so sometimes it's that communication also across generations. It's that valuing across generations. And I think even though we put you in the legend category, because you are, we see how beautiful you are and know that Black does not crack. You see? No, what? I don't even believe you. Yeah. But think about that. You still are relevant to generations that are still coming forth because you speak from a place of love.
I speak from a place of love. Also, corporations have bought up our Black stations. They don't like R&B because it doesn't perpetuate violence. They like more of the sound that perpetuate us to want and desire things that they see in the videos and all of that. Our love songs don't perpetuate that. Our love songs make babies.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, so many people say, "Oh, I made my daughter to your song," or Teddy Pendergrass, or Smokey Robinson, or the love songs that Gladys Knight and Shock and all of us sung back in the day, and Stevie Wonder. Those songs made love.
That's right. How do we teach these new generations, like the millennials, the Gen Zs? How do we teach them about the power of love and the power of forgiveness?
You know, I strive to be a better person. I pray and ask God every time, make me more compassionate, make me more patient, make me more loving, because we live in such a violent society that we really have to take our temperature down to zero to exist in our circumstances right now. And I just think it comes from home. Your parents have to teach you love no matter what. I talk to my son, he's 20 all the time, and all he knows is love and the compassion. And when he gets a little ornery, I'm like, no, we're going to be compassionate and we're going to be loving. And I think it's up to the parents to constantly say love, because they're seeing so much violence in the street, on television, all these reality shows, and everything is just kind of off balance. I think we have to find a balance in our community.
Absolutely. And so you're raising up the standard of love.
The standard of love.
Amen.
Come on. You know, it's like we have to stop following and being leaders in our own community. We have to stop following the European way of life. We have adapted that lifestyle.
Absolutely. Today, as we talk about love, because it's often talked about in such a conceptual way, I thank you for bringing it into front and center humanity.
Yes.
How would you all
down at a table? A lot of the people that can make changes, a lot of our Black leaders that can make changes, we all come and have a summit, sit down and see what we can do for us.
My.
You know what I'm saying? I think because communication is everything. So we can come together, because you got to remember, we had towns and stores and banks before they burned them down and tore it up and all of that. So we are able to build our own communities and build them up. We just have to believe that and come together and stop looking for them to do it. We can do it.
It's as if we're saying, especially with the historical commemoration of Tulsa recently, right? Yes. And all of that we do look for reparations. We do want redress through some issues, but we also are part of that repair.
Yes.
That's what I hear you saying.
Yes, we have to repair our own. It's like if you have a wound on your skin and you constantly are putting something on it to make it better. We have to heal ourselves. Because they don't know how to heal out. They don't know how to heal us. And we can't help them with their racism because we don't know it. We don't understand it. That's there. I think as a people, we have constantly tried to make them like us, to make them not be racist. We're living in a racist society, and we should know it and believe it and just go forward.
And love each other on the way.
Love each other on the way. Love each other. For those that want to love us, we'll let them love us. For those that don't, bye.
That's right. And we'll cover each other as we go. Thank you so much for being with us today, sharing your love
Thank
and your
you.
wisdom and
Thank
your
you.
insight. Thank you so much.
You're
God
welcome. God bless.
Wonderful. That was so refreshing and soul giving.